What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the AM, guys. So, I'm actually going to talk about the tagline just for the show. I think it's important. So, the tagline is really a documentation or documentary. The Ken Burns thing. A documentary. Thank you. I could not think of that word. So, anyways, Ken Burns, a documentary about the journey of life and business. And the reason why I say that is this: everything that you do in business translates over to your normal life and vice versa. I do think some things are easier to see from different perspectives, but all the principles are the same. It's universal across the road. It really is. And it doesn't matter what you do. Sometimes it's easier to see things in business than it is in life, right? It's easier to see certain things there. And then in life, it's easier to see certain things there than in business, but it all applies. It's all the same. Let me give you a very practical example. You should have a savings account with money for an emergency fund, and you should prepare for retirement in the future, right? In your personal life, this is how it should work. You should have the same thing for a company, right? You should have the same thing for a company. You should have some cash reserves for emergencies, right? Rainy day fund. You should also prepare for how you're going to exit your business. What's your exit strategy, right? Do you actually have the systems and processes to sell the business? Because nobody buys a business, right? They don't buy a name. They're not buying you. They buy a systems that you have built. And when you're dealing with leaving a business, if all you've got is a book of clients, you may or may not get paid because of that. We've watched a lot of people just walk away and shut what they've done and spent their life building, just shut it down because they don't have anybody to take it over and they can't sell it. So it's the same. The point is, it's the same. If you're an honorable outside of business, you're honorable in life, and that's part of your character, that's going to translate over into business. Being honorable, whether you're working in a business or you're building your own, being honorable, that translates. The same principles for how you problem solve in life. It's the same principles for how you problem solve in business. Everything's got a root problem that causes fires, right? The fires are the current issues. Cool. You got angry clients. I've talked about this. You got angry clients screaming and yelling at you. Okay. That's a fire caused by a problem. What's the problem? Oh, we have delivery issues. We break our promises. We tell people that their package or their product will be to them in 4 weeks, but we have problems in production to where we always miss that mark. And so we have angry customers. Broken promises equals angry customers. That's the problem. We break our promises. Same thing. My friends are mad at me because I'm constantly late and I break my promise telling them I'll be somewhere. Oh, it's the same. It's the same. I really want to emphasize that it is all the same, and that this show is really about documenting this to help it translate, right? One of the hardest things that Andrew and I had to understand, discover, and more so, I think for me, this is I'm roping Andrew in here because it's kind of an assumption on my part. He's mentioned some of this, but more so from my side, one of the harder things that I had to come to the conclusion of in terms of sight, in terms of critical thinking in business, is I already do a bunch of this, and I thought I was learning this radical new skill set. And as a result, it took me a while to figure things out wrongly because I'm trying to discover some brand new thought pattern, some brand new thought and system pattern, all these things to think differently and all this versus, oh no, it's a simple application problem. I just need to translate and apply what I do in my normal everyday life over into business, and it will work. And that's really what has happened, and that's how it works. And so I just want to hit home with this again, that this show, the tagline of this show and the AM, documenting the journey of life and business, it's really all the same. And that's why I'll flip back and forth. And if you've listened and you haven't thought that this is a business podcast, well, you would be wrong. And if you've listened and thought that this is all about life and has nothing to do with business, you'd be wrong there too, because I'm talking about both at the same time. And the reason being is whatever you're doing is you. Your world around you is what you've made and created. And if you are not aware of what you're doing, you're not looking at what you're doing, no matter where you're at, you're going to create something that you wish you were not in later down the road, right? So a man who just does whatever becomes whatever. And as a result, most of the time when we just become whatever, we really don't like that. It only ends up being pretty painful. Anyways, guys, I'll end on a good note. go out there and get it. I guess that's a good note. I didn't want to end on a downer, but anyways, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.